This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Rachel Fife.
Well, welcome to the Good Neighbor Podcast. Now, if you are looking for help to navigate life after divorce or other pivotal personal disruptions, well, this resource is really closer than you think. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing your good neighbor, Dr. Arlayn Castle, with A Castle of Knowledge. Now, Dr. Arlayn, how is it going?
It's going well. How are you doing today, Rachel?
I'm doing great. And I got to tell you, we're really excited to learn about your business and practice. So tell us all about it.
Okay, so I lead a firm called A Castle of Knowledge, as you know, and we support professionals who are navigating major life transitions, especially separation and divorce, and who are seeking clarity, stability, and direction as they move forward. So our work is centered around psychology-informed, strategy-driven processes, not therapy per se. And many of our clients come to us after having done meaningful work to support themselves. What we provide is a structured approach, and it helps people to organize their thinking, regain internal steadiness, make grounded decisions during periods of disruption. So we have something called the Castle Blueprint, and we apply it across individual, organizational, and all workplace settings to support people and teams that are navigating periods of transition and recalibration. So that's exactly what we do.
Wonderful. Well, how did you get into this business?
How would I say this? So I was a product of divorce years ago, and what happened was that I went to therapy. Therapy was fine. I chose a man because I wanted someone to help me to understand from a man's perspective. And it was fine. But I realized after therapy, after a year, that I was still in this place of non-therapy and feeling stuck. So my journey into this work came from the intersection of professional experience and personal disruption. So for years, I worked in law, advisory, and compliance leadership roles, and helping organizations navigate complexity and risk and change. And since I was trained to think structurally and strategically in high-pressured environments, I figured out that's what I needed to do because I needed to soften something inside that was disruptured. So then I went through the divorce, and it completely disrupted everything, my identity and my stability. And what surprised me was, yes, there was emotional pain, but how disorienting it was for the internal structure to be so out of whack while I still needed to function professionally and personally. So that realization basically became the foundation of my work and eventually led me to write books and focus on divorce and co-parenting and rebuilding after disruption. So today, that's what I do. It grew out of that understanding to bring people to regain their clarity and internal steadiness so they can have forward progress and it becomes clear and sustainable.
Wonderful. Well, what do you think are maybe some myths or misconceptions in your industry?
Rachel, one of the biggest misconceptions is that people think that those who seek this kind of support are doing it because they can't cope or something's wrong with them. And that's not true at all. In reality, many people are still going to work, they're still running their businesses, they're still taking care of families and doing what needs to be done. They're functioning, but on the inside, they're unsettled, unsure, and emotionally weighed down. Another very, very common misconception is that time heals all wounds. I'm sure you've heard that. When it comes to divorce, life does go on and people do learn to keep moving because life goes on. But without the intentional support, many end up staying busy or distracted while feelings of emotions that were never fully addressed remain under the surface. So what I see again and again is that clarity and stability do not only come from time alone, they come from intentionally addressing what has been carried forward and rebuilding in a way that supports long-term stability.
Now, Now we know marketing is really the heart of every business. So how are you finding your clientele?
So I do Facebook ads. So I do ads, and actually they'll cross Facebook and Instagram because they both are Meta. And people find me there for the most part. Sometimes I've had some referrals, and the people who find me on social media through ads, they get a free call. So they'll call and we'll talk to see if we're a great fit. And if we're a great fit, then I tell them more about the program and they become a client. So mostly ads, but I am on social media as well. But I think it's the ads that really get to the individuals because when they see the ads, then they automatically would schedule a call with me. And marketing is very important, as you said.
Yeah. Now I got to ask, have you ever thought of doing your own podcast?
That's a really good question because I actually am working and building towards that. My goal is, Rachel, and it's a goal. My goal is by the end of this month to start my podcast. It's going to be called After the Disruption with Dr. Arlayn, and it will focus on grounded conversations around rebuilding clarity and direction after major life disruptions.
Wonderful. Now I got to ask, outside of work, what do you like to do for fun?
I'm a pretty simple girl in terms of I love being with my family and friends. I love going to the movies, going to the beach, watching the ocean, and just kind of having still time. I think having time to just be still is really important for me. So just being a very simple, fun time. I do like fun too, fun, like maybe go out somewhere to a jazz place, but just something that's more grounded.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Well, Dr. Arlayn, please tell our listeners one thing they should remember about a castle of knowledge.
I want people to know that this work that I do, it speaks to what many are experiencing very quietly. They're still functioning and still showing up, but internally they feel mentally and emotionally scattered, second guessing themselves and unsure about decisions they're making. And that internal strains take a toll on them over time. So what makes the difference is structure. When structure is in place, thinking becomes clearer, decisions feel less heavy, and people regain a sense of direction that they can trust.
Wonderful. Well, how can our listeners learn more about a castle of knowledge?
They can go to our website, which is castleofknowledge.com. There are different resources there that they can tap into. If they want to be a part of my email list to receive my newsletter, they can go to workwithdrarlayn.com. That's ARLAYN.com. I'm also on social media on Facebook at Castle of Knowledge, on Instagram, it's Arlayn, and I'm on TikTok. So you'll be able to find me. You can just do a find for Dr. Arlayn Castle. You can Google me and everything about me will come up. So I'm easily findable.
Wonderful. Well, Dr. Arlayn, I really appreciate you being on the show, and we wish you and your practice and business all the best moving forward.
Thank you so much, Rachel. Thanks for inviting me. This was wonderful.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnporangecounty.com. That's gnporangecounty.com or call 714-941-8862.
You did great. Wow. It sounds like a